Following one of the longest election campaigns in Canadian history, nearly 40% of Canadians chose to close a chapter on Canadian conservatism. On October 19, 2015, 6.9 million Canadians chose what Justin Trudeau would call sunny ways.
Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways. This is what positive politics can do. This is what a positive, hopeful...
So, what exactly did Justin Trudeau mean when he said he ran a positive and hopeful campaign?
The changes Mr. Harper has made to the Elections Act actually make it more difficult for students, for Aboriginal and Indigenous communities, for many seniors to actually vote.
Homeless people.
In those and
Mr.
people
Trudeau,
without homes.
Mr.
The fact Stephen Harper should be embarrassed that he's having to count on the support of Rob Ford for his re-election. Mr. Harper is doing what he always does, distracting and deflecting from his own terrible record and stoking fears and worries amongst Canadians to get them to vote for him. This is what's happening in 10 years under Stephen Harper. The economy might look fine from 24 Sussex Drive, but for millions of Canadians, it's been stuck in neutral.
For someone who claims to have run a positive campaign, Justin's message sounded quite negative. In fact, maybe more negative than Stephen Harper's. So, what then was Justin's most positive message?
It's time for a change in this country, my friends. A real change. A real change. A real change. A real change.
It turns out that Justin's change was nothing more than an old-fashioned illusion. So, let's take a look at Justin Trudeau's so-called change. Shall we? John McCallum, current Minister of Immigration, served under Paul Martin's corrupt Liberals as Minister of Defence and Veterans Affairs. Ralph Goodale. He was a member of both John Chrétien and Paul Martin's cabinets. Stéphane Dion. He has served in Liberal Party cabinets since 1996. Lawrence Macaulay. He is Prince Edward Island's longest-serving MP. He is a Liberal Party insider, first elected in 1988. These old-school Liberals are only a few of the old, Liberal elites serving in Trudeau's government of change.
You know, when we voted this law on Parliament Hill, at that time the NDP voted for us. And after that, after we passed before passing the bill, I had made a reference to the Supreme Court of Canada. And NDP government supported me to do that. And today, you know, they do that just because the luck of last election, they got some separatists elected with them. You know, it's not the way to run a country, and it is irresponsible, you know, to claim that it's not a problem.
This was John Chrétien, bashing the New Democrats during a Trudeau rally in October. According to him, if you can understand him, the New Democrats got lucky in 2011, under Jack Layton. Apparently, New Democrats also elected some separatists in Quebec. Chrétien, as we know, is one of the oldest Liberals in Canada's Liberal ranks. This was him as Finance Minister under Pierre Trudeau.
I would like to thank very sincerely the sixth critic of the Tories. sometimes they need two at a time, so I don't know what kind of government they will ever form if the people were to make that mistake.
Then, John Chrétien was just as arrogant as he is today. That was him suggesting that Canadian voters would be making a big mistake by electing a progressive conservative government. So, what other fake changes and positive ideas has Justin Trudeau's new government been responsible for? First, in old Liberal fashion, they refused to reveal what businesses they personally selected to supply newly landed refugees their clothes and new items. Then, they reversed laws that would have required unions and First Nations to disclose their finances. Perhaps this reversal was repayment for their support in the 2015 election. Nothing defines the Liberal Party quite like cronyism and corruption.
Members of the AFN Executive and Chiefs in Assembly, thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today.
The next step for Trudeau's corrupt Liberals is election reform. Their plan is to change Canada's traditional, first-past-the-post system, to something that would favour Liberal supremacy in the House, forever. They plan to do this without a referendum. They plan to change how Canadians cast their ballots, without asking Canadians first.
The minister just said, she actually just said that she will not prejudice the outcome of her process by asking the Canadian people what they think of her electoral proposals in a referendum. Heaven forfend that she should ask the Canadian people what they think in a referendum. Is she really asserting that the Canadian people are incapable of deciding in a referendum on how they should be governed and how our elections should take place, the same way the people of British Columbia, of Prince Edward Island, of Ontario, of New Zealand, of the United Kingdom were asked? Are Canadians too immature to handle a referendum on this subject? Yes or no?
The truth is, Trudeau's government does not believe Canadians should have a say in how their country's elections are conducted. God forbid, Canadians say no to a preferential system that would ensure the Liberals always get the most seats. If the Liberal government had only good intentions, they would have no problem allowing Canadians to refuse, or accept, their electoral reforms. We should not expect anything more from a Liberal Party that hasn't changed in nearly half a century. The Liberal Party still employs the old cronies from decades past, and rebrands the ideas and strategies of its same old self. So, all we can do now is wait and reminisce about what it is that Canadians think they have changed from.
Because we believe that government should manage the people's money the way people manage their own. Because, friends, we believe that in a dangerous world, Canada must, without apology, advance our values, defend our interests, and stand by our friends. We have championed those values all of our public lives. Pendant les dernières 9 années et demie,
in the last 9.5 years, I had the incredible honor of serving as your Prime Minister.
It has been an unbelievable honor to serve as your Prime Minister. I have spoken, friends, to Mr. Trudeau and offered him my congratulations, all of our congratulations, on his successful campaign as well. The disappointment you also feel is my responsibility and mine alone. But know this for certain. When the next time comes, this party will offer Canadians a strong and clear alternative based on our conservative values.
Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.